Nearly 1 year to the day after WHAS 11 first exposed allegations of neglect and abuse at Wildlife in Need in southern Indiana, the nonprofit's founder will face a judge for a final hearing in the state's case against him. The court date is set for tomorrow morning. Tonight, we're taking a look back at what's happened over the last year. February of 2020, WHAS 11 aired our investigation into allegations of neglect and abuse at Wildlife in Need. Many of the claims backed up by state and federal records, more than 500 pages of them. We interviewed 7 former staffers with firsthand accounts.
He's been operating since 1999. This has always been something that has been swept under the rug.
The former employees described dirty cages, injured animals that didn't get vet attention, lack of food and water. The documents highlighted unethical euthanasia, missing or fabricated records, and too few staff for too many animals. When we took the allegations to Tim Stark, he didn't deny them, but blamed his staff.
Kind of funny how they'll sit there and say, oh, well, look at this, it wasn't clean. Oh, look at that, it wasn't done. Oh, whose freaking job was it? Theirs.
Then we took the allegations to the USDA, and on the same day our investigation aired, the federal agency revoked founder Tim Stark's exhibitor's license. Several days later, the Indiana Attorney General filed a lawsuit against him, accusing him of embezzling nonprofit money and aiming to shut down the nonprofit for good.
We include allegations that animals were neglected to show that the corporation, the nonprofit, is not fulfilling its mission.
The next month, March, an inspection at the Charlestown property proved animal experts' fears were validated, and the court approved a motion to move all animals off of the property to other sanctuaries for the remainder of the case, despite major pushback from Stark.
Like I said, I'm losing my life right now. Everything I've worked for.
More than 200 animals were ultimately removed during an operation that involved SWAT, police, and court officials. But a final count showed not all animals were accounted for. Some were missing. The judge asked Stark to turn them over or face contempt of court charges. When deadlines were missed, the judge issued a warrant, and in September, Stark fled the state.
So it's been a very unusual road, and you're dealing with a character who doesn't feel like he needs to subject himself to the authority of the court.
He was eventually arrested in New York State and extradited back to southern Indiana. Stark faced jail time and apologized to the judge for his behavior, blaming bad medication. Former staff didn't buy it.
When he got into it, he may have had good intentions, but I think he let greed get the better of him.
Now, 1 year later, the final hearing in the case. Wildlife in Need is dissolved on paper. The nonprofit no longer allowed to show animals, host events, or collect donations. But what happens to the animals? Who do they belong to? Those questions set to be answered in the courtroom starting Monday morning.